And so if you can see, I didn't have this brace on there at first. This was just all open down here. And although this is, you know, steel tubing, if you get like an overweight person or, you know, a lot of people sitting on this thing all at once, they just flop down on it, these legs could possibly flex just a little bit. But I don't want any flexing going on with this thing at all. So I added these braces going across here to keep these legs from spreading. And this is of course the arm, the seat frame, and then that spreader. And you can see the angle on here. This is 10 degrees here, 10 degrees here. And I left about 2 inches in here flat, so it would line up with the seat frame. But the seat on here is not flat, it's on a 2-degree upslope coming from the back. So when a person sits down on here, they won't slide forward because the back rest has a 10-degree angle. And I don't want a person to sit on here and start sliding forward. So that 2-degree, you know, should catch them and keep them from falling forward. And when I sat on here, it felt really, really comfortable. All right, let me move this camera back out. And okay, guys, I want to give you a kind of a downward view of it. So as I said before, there are 4 stainless steel slats in here. And all these slats on the back side are stainless steel, of course, stainless steel here. So that's what it looks like, guys. So that's a close-up view. So let me move the camera out. All right, guys, that's the finished product. And again, the only thing that's going to change now is just the color of it. Of course, the stainless will stay stainless, but the rest of it will be a brown. It'll look just like our other sculptures, like the rust patina, but we're just getting the patina from a different product, the Japanese brown. But guys, that's going to do it for this one. And this is my first bench. It was a lot of research, you know, just trying to get everything proper. Like as far as the angle of the seat rest and the back rest, and I didn't even know that there was such a thing. I thought when I sat in the chair, it was just sitting in a chair. But there's a lot to it. But I did learn when I was at Outback that when you sit in on their benches, if you get a booth to eat at, they're at a 90-degree angle, straight up and pretty much straight out. And I couldn't figure out why those chairs were so uncomfortable, but those are designed to have you lean forward. So when you're eating, you're not going to do a whole lot of just sitting back. You're going to be more leaning either straight up or leaning forward. And I kind of came up in my mind with, they have those backs straight up because they don't want you to get too comfortable. They want you to eat and get out so the next person can come in. Because if they had, seat backs at 10 degrees, 15 degrees, you'll be so comfortable that you want to stay there all day long talking. You've already finished your meal, you've already paid for your meal, but you're just hanging around. They don't want you to do that. They want you to get the heck out of there. But for this, I want you to sit here, all day long if that's the case. I want you to be comfortable on this thing, outside in the elements, just doing your thing, reading a newspaper, whatever people do. I want them to be able to do that with this bench. So as far as the build process, it went fairly smoothly, but like I said, I had to do a lot of research. On the next one, if I build another one, it will be twice or 3 times the price of this one. But I will know right off the bat what to do. So it'll be a lot easier, it'll be a lot faster to get it done. So, you know, the height of the seat to the ground is, I think I may have mentioned, is 18 at the front, 17 and a half, 17 and a quarter on the back. So whenever if you ever build one of these, you want to have that slight decline going from front to back. You want to have your back rests on an angle. You can choose the angle anywhere from I think it's 10 to 15 degrees. On the seat rest, it can be 2 degrees, it can be 5 degrees. Just depends on what you want to do. Your armrest height between 7 and 9. So all those things I learned, doing this one. And like I say, I can build benches, all day long now because I know what to do right away. But we'll see. I will put this, it'll be on, in our book. We have a book that we take to all the shows. People can look through because of course we can't take all of our pieces to a show. So we have a book where people can look through and say, I want that one or whatever. I will have this in that book, but it will be quite a bit of money because I really don't want to do it again. But if somebody wants me to do it or do one similar, I'll accommodate them, but it's going to cost them. All right, guys, so the bench project is complete. And I just want to show you guys, the final product. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. I'm not sure what I'll be working on, but I'll be working on something. And this took more time than I wanted it to, but it's pretty much done. I'm gonna hand it over to my wife. She can passivate it, put the Japanese brown on it and all that other stuff that, she would do. I'm also gonna put height adjusters on the bottom of these legs because right now they're just sitting on the floor. But I'll be putting height adjusters on the legs. Let me grab one so you can see. So these height adjusters will go under each leg on the ground, between the ground and the leg, and they can adjust the bench up or down, just depending on the terrain the bench is on. Because I don't want the bench, rocking or anything like that. So I have this screw, and I have another screw on the inside of the leg, or nut. I'm sorry, this nut, and I have another nut inside the leg. So when I screw this into the leg, we'll get it to the right height. Then I'll take this nut and lock it into position. So this is not just kind of moving around under there. So this nut right here is designed to lock that in. I think on the last video that I shot, I showed you guys how I made the adjusting brackets to go underneath there. So these will be underneath on each side of all four legs. All right, guys, so I hope I was able to at least get you guys thinking. I didn't do a lot of welding on this thing on camera because of all the angles. I was on the floor. I had this up on the table. And the way I did it, I wasn't sure if I was going to put this on with these uprights and then put this on or what. But I figured that if I lay this on the table, lay this rear upright and this rear upright on the table with it, clamp everything together, I can just weld this up. And then when I went to put this portion on, since I had 5/16 leg adjusters already built into this leg, I was able to tie these legs to the table with a 5/16 bolt coming through the table, tying into these legs, and that allowed this to stand in its upright position. And then I was able to kind of tie everything else to this, which made it a lot easier to do than trying to have the uprights, the seating, and then trying to put this thing on. This thing weighs 45 to 50 pounds by itself. So trying to get that up, clamp it in, it would constantly be trying to slide and move. It would have just been just a nightmare. So I did this to the uprights first, landed on the table. And then, like I said, I stood this up, put the bolts through the bottom, and then I built everything else going to it. So that's how I did it, guys. And that's going to end this video. And like I said, I hope to see you on the next one. I'm not sure what I'll be doing, but I hope to see you there. All right, and as usual, peace out.